Okay, I'm live now. I'll at least be able to reprieve myself a little bit. We'll listen. We love you guys. Yeah. Well, I got to figure this out better. And hopefully, all of you see that we're moving over to a different place. I'm going to totally shut this window down here. Hopefully, you find me. Darn, that's kind of unfortunate. But it's what happens sometimes, huh? So I'm waiting for people to start to find it. Okay. So there were 20 people. I hope you figure out what I've done. So sorry. There we go. People are starting to find it. I'm still waiting for mine to refresh so I can see what we've got here. I don't know who the one person is who's here. I don't have a way to see that yet. I'm hoping that my computer decides that we're here. So this is Bernice. Okay. Hey, glad that you're here. So sorry about the other live. When I tested this morning, it worked great. But when we actually try to do it, it doesn't work great at all. So much for testing and the value of testing. And I'm trying to get mine pulled up so that I can see what it's looking like and be sure it's working fine. And if there's a chat, I'll be able to watch the chat and keep it going. So anyway, looks like having Rinda on here at the same time, not possible. I was hoping that were the case. I thought I had the solution. As it turns out, no, it wasn't, unfortunately. It would have been great. But I think it might be my internet. I've had a couple of issues this afternoon. So it could be just poor quality internet is what's hurting me. Just bring you up to speed a little bit on a couple of things that's been going on while people gather. Yesterday, actually into the evening, I helped Austin process his pig. Didn't capture much of that. There's just the two of us and a lot of work to do, so not a lot of chance to be doing video of what was happening. We were trying something new for, before when we did our pig, we did like just a tin can full of water, or one of the big cans at a time to pour over to get the hair to where we could scrape it off better. And that worked. That was a slow, arduous process. We, this time, wanted to use our 100-gallon stock tank. And we did. Getting the water hot was the challenge. Austin had a gadget that we thought would do it. And as it turns out, it didn't have the ability to do it. Like I say, we hoped that it would, but as it turns out, it didn't. So what we had to do was heat water, a container at a time, and pour in there. And we just kept refreshing the water that way. And it took us a long time to get it hot, hours to get it hot enough. It was a painful process. But in the end, we had the water hot enough, dunked the pig in it, and were able to get the hair stripped off fairly fast and then take care of everything else. So it's kind of late in the evening before we got finished, but the job is done. He's got it hanging now, and he will do the primal cuts starting on Saturday. I don't know how far he'll get, but anyway, that's done. So we no longer have pigs to be fed every day. Kind of reduces my workload a little bit in the mornings and evenings, which is good. I'm ready for that this winter. I have a lot of other things to do. So that's an update where we are with the pigs. As you saw from a video this week, Rinda's kitchen is totally taken apart. I'm having to work and help Austin with the pigs, so I'm not getting to put a lot of time into it like I'd like to. But at this point, I have all the flooring picked up to where I'm down to the joists. a lot of cleanup to do there. It's a big mess. In addition to that, boy, I wish I could be seeing the chats. I can't get to the chats, guys, so I really can't interact with what's going on there. I feel bad about that, but it's just not loading up for me. So let me click one thing here. It's hard to do a two-person show with one person. So, oh, okay, there it is. Whoa. Okay, so I've got it, and I'm seeing the chats. Okay, that's weird. So let me move that speaker out of the way so it doesn't affect me. Okay. So I am seeing the chats. Whew, okay, I'm glad I'm back to. Sorry, I don't have a thing to hold the phone other than my hand, so it's going to shake around a little bit. Anyway, on the kitchen, there were a few comments about the joists. As you look at where the pipes go through, what they had cut out for those pipes is huge. It's like half of the width of the joist, which is a no-no. I mean, it's a big problem. Really has compromised the integrity. Now that I got it all taken down, I need to assess each joist one by one and see how many of them are still strong enough to do what they need to do. Like I had said in the comments when the person was asking about that, for the most part, for about 3/4 of the width of the room, there's a concrete slab that they are resting on, or at least with shims could be resting on. So they get some strength that way, and I'm definitely going to strengthen that up. And then I don't know what they're called, but you run between joists, but you can put braces between the joists, and that can strengthen them as well. So I'm going to look at that. But still, it's just a lot to be concerned about, because it's not very often you fully take a floor up like this and look at what's underneath. And, this is the time to repair it so that it can last for a lot of years. So I'm going to take some time and do that right. Like I say, first of all, there's a lot of cleanup. Then figure out what to do with that, and then do the vapor barrier on it, and then go ahead and put new floor boards down on top of it, and then we'll move forward from there. But we want to get to that part so we can go on with some other things. Yeah, that the other one, Ron, I had to. It wasn't working. The test worked this morning. I couldn't get it to work now. Just kind of crazy. Anyway, technology. Things don't always work like what you want them to work, I guess. I don't have a way to get in touch with Renda to let her know, Bernice, to get on a side chat. I know she's feeling pretty busy, and she could only stay on till 25 after anyway. So she was kind of stressing about it a little bit. So, but she'll be home come Wednesday, and everything will be back to normal pretty much for us, other than it being Christmas and winter and all that goes on with that. So, that's, I don't know, technology. So, as many of you are probably aware, we have moved our 12 weeks to Heartiness to Teachable. Great place to have it. We're very excited about that. It's going to enable us to do a lot more for interaction, and that we're going to be able to initiate that real soon. It's taken a lot of work to get it there. We still have a little bit left to do to get it finalized to where it's perfect. Well, it's never perfect, right? But to get it to the point that it's as functional as we'd like it to be. And then we're going to start using it a little bit more. So once again, for those of you who are subscribed to it, fantastic. There's going to be a lot more going on, and we're going to be adding to it as we go. And in fact, looks like we have a collaboration that's going to be involved with it with one of our subscribers. So it'll be kind of cool to incorporate that, of demonstrating with somebody how to do some of the parts that we talked about in there. So some real life interactions that are going on there. Christmas time, I'm actually, when I finish here, going to be finishing up, getting ready to go to a Christmas party. Unfortunately, Rinda's not with me, but still going to be able to go and have a good time. Great time of year to be reaching out to friends and enjoying family, getting ready for special events, and sharing, as much as we can. This is a great time to light the world, to take what we find to be important and make certain that other people are experiencing that and enjoying that as well. So a lot of, well, we don't have plans, but a lot of intents on our part to make that type of thing happen. So yeah, Margie, thanks for purchasing. And yeah, it's going to be a healthy journey for you, no doubt. We certainly can't legally, ethically make big promises. What we can say about the course, Margie, is that it's made a big difference for us, and it continues to. And in fact, Rinda has a blog coming out this week about some of the ways that it affects us. It's kind of an interesting blog that she's talking about. So, but it's being healthy is in reach for most of us. Now, I know that there are some circumstances that things have happened where it's impossible, but I do know that for any of us, we can make improvements. And really, that's what it's all about, is maximizing what we have. The more we have, the more we can improve. And that's, I think that's the biggest message of Heartiness approach, is that once we give up and give in and not want to try to make a difference for ourselves, then it's downhill. But if we'll take the gifts we have and make the most of them, then we can make great improvements. And we see that as being, the opportunity we've had to learn about some of the healthy habits that can make a difference. It's really turned it around for us. And I know people can look at us and say, you're lucky. Well, yeah, I agree. We are lucky that we have a lot of great health, but I know what we were feeling like. I know what we were doing. I know where we were headed. And I'm convinced that the changes we made has altered our future. Certainly given us a lot better chance for things that are going. So, that's really been fantastic. So, for those of you who have chickens, and I'm curious, how is your laying going on here as the days are shorter and the weather's a little bit colder? We've actually found ourselves down to just 5 laying hens right now. We've had several things happen that has depleted our flock, but yesterday I got 4 eggs, got 3 eggs today. It's been pretty much consistently 3, occasionally 2, occasionally 1, but usually 3. Yesterday at 4 was an anomaly, but so we're really happy. So Green Gables, 1 egg per day, 12 hens. Wow. What kind of hens do you have? I'm curious, and what's the situation they're living in? How old are they? That might be the real question. And Margie, 12 out of 15. That's more consistent with what I've been experiencing. So that's what do you think you're doing, Margie, that's causing that to be the case, to where you're getting 12 out of 15? 7 months old, 6 eggs, 8 chickens. Okay, Barred Rock. Yep, that sounds about right. So there are a lot of variables that go into it. So I know Green Gables may have a set of circumstances that causing those hens to not be laying as much. So, but Mama grows a fresh batch each year. What we're planning to do. We've got some Delaware poults who are. When did we get them? Got them in September. So they're, they still have a while to go. They're getting a little bit larger. And one of the poults turns out to be a rooster, actually. There's only one. All the rest of them are poults, which is great. What I've wanted to do is to see if we can hatch out some of the eggs, just, like once a quarter, take a group of them and try hatching them out and just keep a a small number of refreshing going on to the flock. And one of the reasons that we chose the Delaware is because they are a dual purpose bird. Now, they're not a Cornish cross. They're not these Red Ranger size necessarily, but they are decent sized. And so we're going to try it. And if the meat is acceptable, then this is, that's how we're going to be doing our culling, as we get the chickens who look like they're going to be better layers. We're going to not cull them, and those that we're concerned about we'll go ahead and cull and be able to then have a constant supply of meat chickens. So we'll see how that goes. It's what I've wanted to do, and I finally got Renda talked into it, and the supplier of our baby chicks helped out and gave us a rooster. None of them are tame. I need to spend more time with these chickens. They are still a little bit afraid of me when I try to pick them up. And so, in the past, we've been able to have a good relationship. Not necessarily with the rooster. The rooster's always the challenge because, I don't know. We've had one rooster in our time that was actually gentle all the way up until the end. Most of them don't stay that way, and I'm sure that's probably similar to what all of you have experienced. Okay, so Green Gables, 4 years old. Oh, okay. Yeah. Can't cull them. It's hard, isn't it? But they do slow down. Copper marrons. Wow. Black sunflower seeds. I do have some sunflower seeds that I plan to plant, but I've got plenty. I could feed them a little bit. Buff Orpingtons are fantastic. They're a little harder to gather eggs from. It's been my experience. They're pretty protective of what they have in the nest, and they'll let you know. But yeah, I've been Green Gables. I've been doing that with my rooster as well. He's still not liking it. I think I just need to take my stool and go and sit in there, and I do some reading frequently, just for my reading time, is go into the coop, sit down on a stool, and maybe even read out loud to them and pick them up as I can. So, but anyway, yeah, loving them into submission. That's the trick. If they get familiar with you, chickens we've had for a while, every set of them, they may not like to get picked up, but they'll be right with us because we feed them. They follow us everywhere. They're like puppy dogs. So, yeah. Yeah, he'll never like it. Yeah. My dog, who's 11 or 12, he doesn't like me to pick him up. Sometimes he doesn't even want petted. He's just, animals don't like it. When they want it, they'll come to you for it. Otherwise, yeah, they'll stick away. So that is a bit of a challenge, that's for sure. So, well, I'm just curious if anyone here has special things they're doing for the holidays in reaching out and bringing a little bit of holiday joy to others. I'm interested in your plans for that, some of the things that you're doing or have done, plan to do. And yeah. Christine, so no roosters. They need to breed a rooster that doesn't crow. Then you'd be okay, right? They don't mind the roosters. They just mind the crowing. That's what they're talking about. Okay. Copper marrons. Interesting. A month of service. Wow, that's pretty intense. Eric, what kinds of service are you going to be doing? I know I started off with spent a few hours at the the people who ring the bell, Salvation Army. They have a food bank here, and they provide food to several people, and they need help in filling the orders because it's government. A lot of it is government supplied, and so the people receiving the food can't pull it off the shelf. It has to be pulled off by somebody else. I'm sure there's a reason for that rule. So visiting lonely folks, that's fantastic. having worked in senior care a lot, both Rinda and I have had a chance to be around people who were alone at the holidays. In fact, working in an independent living community, we had a lot of people who were there, and just a lot of folks who came in to visit them, more so at the holidays than at other times. And it was great to have them there. Yes, and providing meals. Yep. Mama grows, sometimes that's all you can do. I'm sorry that I'm shaking around so much. My arm got tired. But they need the money. The money's going to buy things that are very helpful and very beneficial. So how about anybody else? What kinds of plans do you have for reaching out this Christmas holiday to brighten the days for those who are around? A luncheon for widows and widowers. Oh, I love that idea. That's not something that happens very much as a luncheon. At least I haven't heard. I like that idea. You're giving me some good ideas. That is a great one. 75. That's a lot. Wow, it's a good sized group. Yeah, Bernice. That's perfect. I mean, we should reach out to our family first. Absolutely. Reaching out to your mother is pretty important. So, I guess we could say that that's kind of what Rinda's doing, taking care of her grandkids while her son and his wife get to have a little bit of time away and on their, just the two of them, and really enjoying themselves. So, yeah, that's a good idea. But I like that idea. Evenings are a lot of times really hard, Green Gables, for everybody. So being able to do it during the day makes a lot of sense. So it's not possible for everybody, but for those whom it is, it's great. Yeah, we wish our grandbabies were closer. It would make this a lot easier. This is a huge deal for Rinda to be gone like this. All of you can imagine that. So, well, I've got to start making some plans for other things I want to do for the holidays. I know we have a few families that we visit and just, provide encouragement and just to be there and be around them. But we want to reach out a little bit further. So, as Renee gets back, we're going to start trying to figure that out. Now's the time, and we definitely have some time. Well, that's a great thing to do, and we know some couples that would make sense for. We might do that. I mean, they need to do that Christmas shopping, and doing it together a lot of time is better. But even we forget sometimes just how stressful it is as parents. I mean, it's a 24-hour-a-day job, and to get a little bit of a break is great. So if we can help the parents of those kiddos, whether they're our grandkids or somebody else's grandkids, get a little bit of time to themselves, get their social, emotional selves back to where they need to be. And that can really be helpful. Yep. Youth group to babysit. I was thinking about that. We haven't done that, Mama Grow, sharing our pork. We've this time, typically what we've done is share our excess, whether it's eggs or chickens, and definitely be pork. And when we have 2 pigs in the freezer, we're not going to eat 2 pigs in a year. It's going to take us more than a year to do that. So yeah, sharing it, I see that happening. Anyway, back to what I was saying. There I think are a lot of people who would participate in this food bank that I participated in, but they have kids who they can't leave. And this food bank doesn't have teenagers work at it. They just want adults. But what struck me is, well, why couldn't the teenagers babysit, which is an indirect way to help out at the food bank, and then let the people they're babysitting for go to the food bank. So I'm going to recommend that to our group. I mean, we have a monthly commitment to go there, and that I think would increase the number of people who can be part of that. Preschool and the Christmas program. 20 years. Okay, Brenda, you're a trooper. Hey, and I'm curious, Brenda. I saw the town that you live in. You know, I spent some time in upstate New York, but I wasn't familiar with where that town is. So what's it close to? So just curious. Was it Canastega? Is that what it was? Anyway, uh, great place. Probably a little bit cold this time of year, right? Lots of snow. I'm suspecting that's what you're living with there. So, um, well, I'm gonna start shutting this down. I'm kind of just going on and on. Not a lot of new things. Oh, let me say this. I am learning our fireplace a lot better, how to keep it going and how to keep it going hot, where I can get the temperature pretty much in the whole house to where we want it to be. We shall have a few draftiness issues to deal with, which is going to help. But I'm learning how to make it work the best. Now, I'm convinced that an insert is still losing a lot of heat up the chimney, and we definitely want to get a freestanding stove and get that in place. So, maybe by next year we'll be able to do that. So, no, we haven't heard anything more on the high tunnel. The last thing we did was fill out a couple of forms. So we may check with them and see where it is. The person we're working with there may have some update for us. I think what it comes down, everybody is still seeing me. Yep, there we go. Hopefully they get out soon. It might be like January or so before they come out and talk to us. But what we've been told is usually by February, everything is pretty much finalized. So this may unfold really quick on the high tunnel. That's what we'll have to see. Shopping for foster kids. Oh, wow. That's fantastic. I like that. Green Gables, you have a lot of good ideas. That's really wonderful. So, anyway, we're keeping warm here. We're keeping busy, as you know, and now that we're down to just chickens and cats and a dog, a lot less to worry about, but the chores we need to get done, not the chores, but the projects we need to get done. So we need to move forward. Roots and Refuge is getting a high tunnel. That's fantastic. Well, every county works things a little bit different. Allegheny County, Canandaigua. Okay. Heavens meet the earth. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Well, everyone, thanks for joining us. Thanks for being part of this. We appreciate you. We get so much back from this than we could ever hope to put into it. We enjoy the love. We enjoy the thoughts, the advice. We get a lot of that, and it helps a bunch with everything that we're trying to do. So thanks for watching, and be watching. Rinda's got a great video she's going to be coming out with soon. She was telling me about it. It's a good idea. You'll enjoy it. It sounds like a lot of fun. Anyway, take care. Merry Christmas. Be sure to spread the light.